Hi friends, this is Lauren Taylor. Thanks for joining me in my craft room today. I'm hopping along with some of my fellow Spellbinders creators today to share with you some inspiration using a few of the new club products. Now I am on the BetterPress influencer team, so I have Flutter into Spring, which is the Spellbinder Club of the month for BetterPress. And then this month is the extra fluttering hummingbird BetterPress and die set. So that's if you get the deluxe caboodle, which has every single club offered from Spellbinders. That's your little bonus goodie, that cute little hummingbird. So I'm going to use both of them on today's card. I have 2 sheets of the Porcelain BetterPress A2 cotton card panels, and I'm going to be using those to do my impressions today. So I'll go ahead and get all of my plates out, and I'm going to use the large floral, the 2 birds, and the sentiment from the deluxe caboodle add-on or extra, little freebie. So on my first panel, I'm going to put my flowers, and I'm trying to think of how I want it to look on my background. I end up kind of pivoting later on in the project and die cut it out with one of my ovals. So this part wasn't quite as necessary as I thought it was, but I did try to get it, angled how I think I would want it on my background. I have some of my yellow tape from Spellbinders, and I just want to make sure it's not super duper sticky. I have found that it will sometimes rip my cotton card panels if it's too sticky. So I try to remove some of the stickiness by putting it on a clothing like my sweatshirt to make sure it's not super duper sticky, if that makes sense. I'm going to do all of my impressions with the Mulberry BetterPress ink, and that's from the Regal Tones mini ink set. So I went ahead and fully inked up my flowers to put onto my panel that will be the background of my card. So I have my Spellbinders Platinum 6. This is the special one that's only available from scrapbook.com, and I'm going to run this plate through. I'll also run my 2 hummingbirds and my sentiment. I really just kind of put them onto the panel without thinking about where they are on the panel, if that makes sense, because I'm going to use the coordinating dies to cut them out. That's why I picked the 2 birds and that particular sentiment, because they have coordinating dies. And I just love this color. I think it looks so pretty on the white background. And then, like I said, I ran the 2 birds and my sentiment. So here is what they look like. Such great impressions. And I'm going to save the other half of this panel that I will not use for this card. So that way I have it for another card where I can die cut my image or sentiment from. So for these images, I wanted to watercolor, so I'm bringing out my Distress watercolor pencils. I have sets 1, 2, 3, and 5 right now. I am waiting for my delivery of set 4 and 6, but this is what I have to work with for today's card. And I thought I would go with that iridescent color that hummingbirds have, where it goes from that limey green to deep, rich purple. So I'm just going to show the coloring of one of my hummingbirds just so you can see how I fade, starting with that Twisted Citron, and now I'm moving into Lucky Clover. And I color the same colors on my flowers, except I do add in some squeezed lemonade to bring in some yellow. But these are the colors that I'm going back and forth with on my 2 birds, and they're the same colors I use to color in the flowers. So after going through the lime green to the darker green, I want to move into teals. So I'm using peacock feathers. So that will be kind of the brighter blue or the lighter blue that will blend out from Lucky Clover. So moving from that really vibrant green into the blues. After I use peacock feathers, I'm going to use Mermaid Lagoon. So we're getting a little more bluey in our colors. And this will be the last like blue that I'll use. So I'm going to color in quite a bit of my bird. And then I'll bring in purple, which is Villainous Potion. And that will be the color gradient for my hummingbirds. I'm also going to bring in black soot to color in the beak and feet of my birds. I didn't show that because I'm just doing one color. There's nothing really special about how I add the color of the beak and the feet. So then when I move into the flowers, my flowers are going to be Villainous Potion, and then I will use the greens to fill in the center of the flowers, the greens for the leaves, and then I bring in, like I said, squeezed lemonade to color in the flowers, and I use a combination of the two greens again to fill in the stems of those yellow flowers. So really just kind of bright, colorful combination. I really like how it turned out. My hummingbirds make me so happy. I think they're so pretty. Now I'm going to grab all of the coordinating dies from the two sets to cut out my birds and my sentiment. I'll use repositionable tape to keep them in place while I run them through my die cut machine. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and then we'll start going through the assembly of the card. So I'm going to do kind of a dry run of how I think I want to assemble my card. And this is when I kind of get the idea in my head that maybe I wanted to die cut it out with one of my shaped dies. I love the modern oval die set. And I don't know if you remember my previous club videos where I so desperately wanted to bring in the ovals. I'm going to bring them back for this card. I don't know what it is about the longer ovals from the modern ovals die set from Spellbinders, but I just really like how they look. So I'm going to use the three largest ovals for this card. So I have the smallest of the three is going to cut out my background. The middle of the three, I'm going to die cut out of some mixed media cardstock. This is just what I like to use for quick blending, or if I do any type of slightly mixed media things. And I tied in the same purple from my watercoloring by adding Villainous Potion in Distress ink. So I just used a blending brush to add that color to the edges, and then as you can see I die cut my background out. So I'll go ahead and use some liquid adhesive to glue those together. I wanted to use liquid so I had a little bit of wiggle room when I'm attaching these layers together to make sure that they are centered to each other. So liquid adhesive just allows me to kind of adjust as I lay it down to make sure it looks even. Then I'll use the largest of the dies in the die set, which actually measures 5.5 inches in height. In this particular orientation, and I wanted to bring in some of that kind of brighter yellows and greens from the card, so I grabbed a sheet of the lime green color from the Sunshine 6x8 paper pad from scrapbook.com, and I also have a top folding card base. So I'm going to run this through my die cut machine to create a shaped card base, leaving a little bit on the top so I still have a fold in my card, and then ran it through again with my green paper. So I have that bright green next to the purple with my watercolored background on the foreground. So I take a little time and try to figure out how I want my birds and my sentiment to look on the card. So once I have that kind of figured out, I'll go ahead and grab my foam adhesive to attach my birds and my sentiment. So just a reminder that today's hop is not sponsored by Spellbinders. It's just a bunch of us creators that want to get together and share some inspiration with you in hopes that it brings you some joy while you're waiting for your clubs to arrive. It also maybe will bring you some inspiration to try some new clubs if you haven't tried them out yet. I absolutely love the BetterPress collection. I'm excited to create more with these impression plates. And also, if you are interested in getting the whole kit and caboodle kind of thing, the deluxe caboodle, you do get this extra little goodie this month for your BetterPress collection. So after I get all of my images and sentiment attached, I'll go ahead and glue everything else together. So I use liquid adhesive to attach my purple to the green, and now using my super sturdy tape runner to attach the green to my card base. And I was a little worried that it would be, fall over really easily since it has a rounded bottom, but it actually stood up pretty well. I was very happy. I wanted to add a little bit of bling. I can't leave a card without any shine on it, of course. So I brought in some Twinkling Tourmaline Rhinestones. I hope I said that right. From Trinity Stamps. They are purple, but they also have that same kind of like green, blue, purple shine of what I was trying to achieve with my hummingbird. So I thought they just matched perfectly. I'm attaching them down with liquid glue and my jewel picker, and here is a final look at how my card turned out. You can join the hop by using the links down below in my description box. I hope you have a lot of fun. Let me know when you have hopped what club membership kits that you're most excited to receive, or maybe you're going to try something new this month. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!